Hey, what is up, everybody? It is Matt with Mikey Designs, and Shannon the Shop Gnome is across the room. Say hello, Shannon.
Yo!
Yo! That's a hello to
In Shop
yo.
Gnome.
we know we're running probably a few minutes behind, but
Seems to be the MO lately.
yeah, the thing is, it's been a busy Monday because we went to the ISS show in Fort Worth, which we'll discuss, and it was a lot of fun. And so now we're playing a little bit of catch up today. Catch up. You want some mustard with that? So haven't even had a chance to even kind of mess with the OBS settings today. We got back yesterday, and really, hey, what's up, Uproar? Uproar said he's first. What's up, dude?
Oh, so you get to say hi.
Shannon, go ahead and say hi.
Uproar!
Come on, get with the program.
Hi, Patricia.
Get with the program. Hey, Patricia. Is it Patricia or
Patricia?
Patricia. Well, hi. How are you doing? So we're gonna kind of wait a moment. That way, people can tune in. We are running just a tad behind, about 5 minutes behind. Like I was saying, it's been a busy day. I had to. Well, I wasn't in the office until about 12, kind of meeting up with some VIP people, some very important personas. So I didn't get back until later on, and we got a little bit of a late start today, just period altogether because of the ISS show. But that was a lot of fun, and we'll talk about that as some more of you guys join in.
Hi, Rybeats.
And hey, what's up, Rye? And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about our experience from both sides, and some of the people that we did meet. I actually, right before we went live, I was working on cutting a video to upload.
H-Town!
Oh, you're here in H-Town? That's awesome. Cool. Hey, if you ever want to swing by and check out the shop, you're more than welcome to. Just give us a heads up, and we will be more than happy to talk to you about whatever it is you want to talk about, show you around the shop.
Inksational, hey.
Hey, what's up, Inksational?
Oh, and guys, just to give you a heads up, if I'm not saying hello to every single person, Matt and I kind of came to the agreement that I'm going to stop screaming people's names in the middle of answers. So just know that I'm seeing them, and in my mind, I'm sending you greeting thoughts. Happy greeting thoughts.
Yes, we're trying to be we're trying not to step on each other's toes so much, and because I'll say that when we're hanging out and we're talking to people, we kind of we enjoy our voices being heard. We're very kind of headstrong people. At times, I'm like, hey, Shannon, you know what? You should take the reins. We're gonna do that one day, because Shannon, she did a show for when she was in college, radio live.
Yeah, like
It's
8
almost,
people listened to it because it was an AM station at 8 a.m.
Hey, well,
I don't have that much practice, and it was like 2007.
Well, welcome to the AM station at 7 p.m. That is the Shop Talk Live.
Hi, KJH. And you a little warm there, honey?
Yeah, I sure am.
Okay.
Well, I still have this long sleeve shirt on from earlier today, so I'm not quite just wearing a t-shirt today. However, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and kick this over so that way you can take a look at my awesome mug here. And it
is awesome.
It still looks like there's a little bit of, I don't know if it's just OBS. It seems like there's a little bit of a lag going on.
Like the last couple times.
Even just looking at it on the back end, I promise, guys, we've been trying to figure out what's going on with this. However, we do stay pretty busy just running our business, and sometimes
one of these days we promise we're gonna fix it.
Sometimes these things such as the videos and all that, sometimes they take the back burner a little bit, because number one, the most important thing is our business and making money. And so this is kind of a fun thing for us. It's a fun thing for Shannon, myself, and doing the videos. It's a lot of fun. However, sometimes it can be just an afterthought, but
which is kind of what happened.
yeah, really. However, we're trying to make this as pro. Yeah, I was like, it's 6:45. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and kick this over, and we'll talk some more. So let's get the ball rolling. Hey, what's up, guys? Matt with Mikey Designs here. Shannon, the shop gnome, is across the room, and as we were saying about the live show, it's something that we really love doing, and we look forward to every single Monday. And sometimes, just with having a business, a lot of times it can kind of be a little bit of an afterthought, and it's like, man, we really gotta. It's time.
Well, to be fair though, I got you at 6:40. I was like, or 6:30. I was like, hey, you want to start trying to set up, do some tests? And you're like, yeah, in a little bit. Click, 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 click. Okay, it's 6:40. You want to start doing? Yeah, in a little bit. Click, 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 click. And then finally you set everything up, and then I'm just like, and then I'm watching you as you're changing like something in a device, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, what I had to do was I had to just I restarted my computer because it had been on all weekend, and I've kind of just been working, getting work done with the computer. It's kind of been lagging a little bit.
I think they've noticed.
We'll get things all situated sooner than later, really. However, yeah, Shannon was like, "Hey, what time is it?"
That was so hard for me because I had to tear myself away from my drawing. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to. Yeah. Okay, let's go. And oh, by the way, hey, Imagination. Hey, Waldo.
Shannon's been working on her drawing project.
Then I had to restart.
We close at 6, so we kind of take a little bit of downtime in between
Alfred!
closing and then, no, it's okay. Taking a little bit of downtime in between doing the show and officially kind of locking the doors. However, we've been playing catch up quite a bit. So if you go over to our Instagram page, Mikey Designs Silkscreen, you'll see that there's quite a bit of tasks that need to be handled. And that was just the admin stuff, which Shannon and I knocked out fairly quickly. I mean, it took a little while.
We left for 1 weekend. We came back in 101 emails, and I'm like, "What the shit?"
Yeah, it's not a bad problem to have.
It's not, however, but still.
However, the funny thing is, because we did go to the ISS show, a lot of times on the weekends we do tend to take those weekends to catch up. I will say every other weekend we do make sure we're doing family stuff. Some weekends we do kind of continue pushing on making sure business is taken care of. So that way we can put food on the table, make sure there's a roof over our head, and life's honky-dory.
First off, hey Jimmy, and Uproar says video and audio looking good.
Yes!
Woo!
Well, that's good to hear. That's good to hear that everything's looking cool. It's funny because I tried uploading a video immediately after last show, and it was just kind of like a quick little vlog that was probably about 5 minutes long, and it was unedited, none of that intro stuff, and it was just like, hey, apologize about how essentially the video kind of falling out, if there was any audio problems and all that. And I was trying to upload it, and I took a little screenshot of what our server was doing, and it was really, really slow, really low. And then I was trying to show some of the projects that we were working on. If you guys are still interested to see that, now that things are kind of semi back to normal with the internet speed, I'll still upload that. But I've been working on cutting and editing the ISS show video, which we had a lot of fun. And so I kind of want to talk about that. And after we're finished with the show, I'm going to upload that. So keep your eye out for video to be posted a couple hours after the live show is posted. What were you going to say?
Well, I was just going to say, normally, wouldn't we just be asking right now, though, about, questions, comments, concerns, news?
This is true. This is true. So we'll give you guys some time to put your questions in, and we'll answer your questions to the best of our knowledge.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about the ISS show for a little bit. You do, Shannon?
Yeah.
You got a question? Go ahead.
Did you actually upload the other one, the live stream from last time? Because I never went back and checked.
Yeah, it's a two-parter.
So I can't use my same fact.
It's a two-parter. I think the audio is still there. However, even though the video was lagging, I'm pretty sure it was up there. I thought about taking it down. However, I kind of like the idea of it being up there just because not everything goes smooth. Doing all this isn't as easy as it looks. And we were talking with some YouTubers, which we'll talk about who we met here in a moment. But I was like, man, it's not as easy as it looks doing, especially the live stream. You can cut and edit all these videos and whatnot and make it look really cool and kind of take your time with it, depending on how often your subscribers kind of expect you to upload videos. We try to do at least one a week aside from the live show. I try to keep it about 2 to 3 aside from doing the live thing. But yeah.
Well, Charles says enjoy, see y'all at the ISS show. I think there might be some confusion because that was last week.
Wait, what did Charles say?
He said, see y'all at the ISS show.
No, I think, no, Charles is saying that he saw us at the ISS show. Yeah, Charles, we saw him at the ISS show.
We saw Charles?
Right, yeah.
Was he the one wearing the Print Life shirt?
The Print Life shirt?
The red one?
You're going to have to forgive us, Charles. Remind us in the chat what you are wearing, because we met quite a bit of people, even though we didn't.
Oh yes, he said yes.
Okay, yeah. So we met Charles, we met Jonathan, we met T-shirt Chick, we caught up with Ryan again. There was a handful other people that we ran across that I'll say that I was a little flustered because I was kind of in the mode of I'm gonna try and get as much content out of this as possible to upload, but really and truly, I think once you see the video that I upload, it was just kind of fun mode. Really, the whole weekend, the drive up there, the show after the fact. I think I got tired of recording little bits after the ISS show because we were just kind of exhausted from just goofing off, and so let's we'll dive more into that and kind of talk about our experience. If you guys have any questions, put them in the chat once again. If not, then I think we're just going to dive right into talking about the ISS show because it was a lot of fun.
Well, I was flustered just because my contact was having a battle to the death with my eye.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Charles,
walking around the entire place
you,
looking like I had pink eye.
You probably saw that, Jonathan, if you're tuning in as well.
Just so you know, it's just a contact problem, and it was really embarrassing.
Shannon felt bad, and I didn't want her to feel bad or self-conscious because her contact was bothering her, so her eye was red. We had to get some Visine for her, and it
Helped
didn't.
like halfway.
Yeah, it helped for a little bit, and
Panda's
then
dad asked me if I had pink eye.
yeah, he asked if she had pink eye.
Like, no.
I kind of joked around. I don't know if you guys have seen Knocked Up, where it's like, yeah, we farted on her pillow bare assed or whatever the case
It was
may be.
hilarious.
I was like, Shannon got annoyed by the amount of fart jokes over
It was
the
so much
weekend
guy talk. Oh my god.
between Panda and I. You'll see quite a bit of video of Panda when I do post that. And I saw T-Shirt Chick. She posted some video, which I want to share with you. I've just kind of caught a glimpse, so I'm in it a little bit. And then you can just hear Panda laughing in the background, talking about just... she was kind of scared to meet Ryan. And the funny thing is, we're just going to go ahead and dive into it. Whenever some questions come up.
We've got questions.
Okay, we'll dive into the ISS thing. What questions do we have there, Shannon?
Rybeats wants to know if we took any of the classes. Uproar wants to know what we bought at the show. And Alfred, not Albert, wants to know what the hot trend item at the show. What was the hot item / trend at the show?
Okay, so what was the first question? Rybeats wanted to know if we took any classes, right?
Sorry,
correct?
Uproar. Sorry, I got really distracted. Uproar says the gnome is in it.
The gnome is in which one?
I'm thinking, oh my god, if she freaking reported me.
T-shirt chick.
I'm gonna have a heart attack.
The T-shirt chick upload. I've watched them. You're not in there.
Okay.
I know that for a fact.
Okay,
you're not
fine.
in there.
All right. So take any classes, and what did we buy, and what was the hot item and trend?
Okay.
And then Inksational has an actual technical question.
So we did not take any classes.
We saw Ryan giving a class.
Right, and you'll see in the video that I'm going to upload that I was actually passing by while Ryan from Ryanet was actually giving a class. And I walked by and I was like, hey. I forget the other guy's name. The dude with the long hair. He has a screen printing business, successful screen printing business. I didn't take any classes because we really didn't have time to take classes. And I kind of feel like part of it is I could probably teach a lot of the classes. I think there's some of the business in class-wise that I'm interested in. But I feel like we pretty much have a lot of it kind of nailed down. Not to say that I can't, I'm not, that there's nothing new to learn. I'm always learning. But I think for the most part, we just didn't have time. And then really, I think we're just overwhelmed with the amount of stuff we even have to pick up today. And that we have to do even after the live show is over with. We're just slammed right now. So if I would have paid for those classes for myself and Shannon, we would have missed out. That we would have just tossed money away.
And I would have been right back in school when I had to go to the courthouse. And the judge actually did a break session because she saw me falling asleep in one of the back booths. She's like, I think some of us are getting tired. Let's call a break, a 15-minute break. And I'm just like, ah, shit. And then I just left. But I feel like I probably would have been a little, I don't know, just kind of out of it. Anyways, we didn't buy anything, but Isla and Panda were scoring all the free stuff.
We didn't buy anything equipment wise because one, we're a couple months away from paying off a pretty big loan, which kind of helped us get into the shop. So we did look at a few things that we do want to buy. Upgrading our heat press for one, and then always the automatics. I'm always looking at the automatics. One of these days we will get one. I can't say it's going to be this year. That would be cool. A heat press, I do believe that will be
I
something
yeah,
that an upgraded heat press, because
I was pretty interested in those.
the thing is about the heat press that we do have, it's a cheap little Chinese heat press, and there's times when, okay, so I'll say that Shannon hasn't been able to operate it because you have to put a lot of force down
I can
to
jump on it
clamp
and it
it.
doesn't clamp.
And then when she tries to open it up, the whole thing just is moving the whole table and all that. So
And then the
there's
shit
some
gets
of
burned.
the Hottronics and just other heat presses that we want to look into, because we do quite a bit of heat press work. So um, we didn't buy anything, but we did look into the heat press, and we're always keeping our eye out on the automatics, or who knows.
What? So was there a hot item trend?
A hot trend. I can't really say that there was a hot trend.
Yeah.
Really, the and it's funny because going back to this video again, Ryan from Ryan was like, "Hey, what's the most interesting thing that you saw here at the show?" And I, it's screen printing, it's manual presses, it's, they have the automatic scoop coaters. I can't say that's a hot thing. That's something that's been around. I mean, it's your traditional. Uh, I would say the Fort Worth. I don't know what it's like at the Long Beach deal. I imagine they probably have some more of the hotter releases there, but for the most part, everything that we saw at the ISS show, really, I wanted to go to show our employee Panda just kind of some more of the things that are going on in the screen printing uh, industry, like to show them
I
the
basically
automatics, some
dragged
of
him
the,
there by the scruff of his collar.
yeah. He had fun, but he was really distracted. I think it was a little overwhelming. Um, but I just really wanted to show him the automatic presses, kind of where we envision ourselves with his help and him being part of the team and everything. Some of the equipment that we do want to buy. He was really interested in the software. I forget what company it was. I've seen it before, but I'm just kind of like, I generally design that stuff. And he's like, well, what if it takes you a couple minutes? It's almost like a separate software that's almost like custom ink. It's not to knock it or anything. I think it has its use. However, that's kind of like Shannon with the CAM software from the Print Life, getting that, and then it just kind of makes her job. There's less for her to do, and then it's like, okay, it's time for marketing and sales type of stuff, which isn't necessarily a bad thing when it comes to both of those.
Right.
However, like
But
we like to keep busy
yeah.
without feeling too overwhelmed. And when there's a software that can kind of cut out, I'd say when you're just one person, that's great. But nobody kind of wants to be twiddling their thumbs and wanting to do. We're not salespeople. I mean, we know how to close a lot of jobs. Generally, when people are interested and they come to us, and that just goes with any type of sales. I would say we're about 3 out of 5, somewhere around there. When it comes to someone says, "Hey, I'm looking to order this," generally it's repeat customers, or if it's new clients, they're asking about something that is either a low quantity or they just need it too soon type of a deal.
Yeah.
However, so we saw that software, and then I don't know, there's the rhinestone thing, there's the mug presses, the automatics. I didn't see Ranar up there, which I was really disappointed that I did not see them up there. Because I was kind of wanting to record some videos with them. However, I had to, chatted it up with the people that I knew. So, I don't know, Shannon, you're pretty familiar with a lot of what's going on as far as just what's all involved in industry. What did you see up there that was interesting to you?
Well, something that I didn't see at the Houston show that I saw at this one that I thought was really, really neat was the I don't know, maybe you just didn't point it out last time or I didn't see it. It was
It probably wasn't there because it was the Houston show was small
well
first year.
the automatic with the semi-automatic, the
Okay, so yeah,
I
that
didn't
was
see that.
that was Lawson. Lawson
I
was
didn't
up
see that
there.
last year.
They weren't there, which is why. So they have presses
I thought that was
that
really neat.
yeah, and I've considered looking into those, but they're only a few grand away from a fully automated machine. Which to
T-shirt
me,
chick.
oh hey, what's up, T-shirt chick? So T-shirt chick was up there. Okay, so back to the Lawson.
Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I think that's the first time she's tuned in. At least maybe that she's actually said something. So the Lawson is a semi-automatic press. They have fully automated presses, but what their pitch is that it's kind of really just it's a more affordable setup. It's not super complicated. You can get presses with one arm, two, three, four. I think 6 to 8. And the semi-automatic part is that you still rotate the pallets. However, the printing itself is automated, which I think is cool. However, if to me personally, I feel like if you're going to go automated, why not spend an extra $4,000 or $5,000 and get something that's fully automated? So I've always thought Lawson was cool.
That's actually a really good segue. First off, I want to say hi, Jason. Thank you, Charles. And Rybeats, no free beer. We paid $8 a bottle or
Yeah.
thing of wine, and we were the only people drinking, by the way. And like this one lady just kept staring at me. I'm just like, you know what? I'm an artist. And anyways,
we didn't. So Friday, I think generally is when they have the happy hour. However, so we were there practically all day Saturday, and we did a lot of walking around, a lot of chatting it up with people. We made a lot of new friends, not necessarily like, I'll say, for example, the lady from what was her? I think it was Stephanie or Jennifer. I think it was Jennifer. Jennifer from SNS.
oh, she was a blast.
Activewear. She was hilarious because we were kind of just goofing off with her, and T-shirt chick will tell you that we were just kind of cutting up. Really, we were just having fun. We're having a lot of fun with it.
So back to the segue that we've lost.
What was the segue?
Inksational says she's ready to buy a new press. She has a 6-color 4-station Hopkins Jr. She wants a workhorse now, and she wants to know if she should go with a 6-4 or an 8-color 6-station.
Okay, so let me read that back because that
She
I
wants
need
a
to
new
kind of
press.
process that a little bit.
She wants a new press. She has a 6-color
Right.
4-station Hopkins Jr.
Okay.
She wants a workhorse now. She wants to know if she should go
6-color
with a
4-station.
6-4 or an 8-color 6-station.
I would say I wouldn't really look into. I'm trying to figure out how to word this properly, and I think the more stations, rather than kind of focusing on it being an 8-6 or whatever, the more stations you have. Well, for one, how often do you print jobs that are more than 6 colors? I know there's a handful of times when we do need more than those 6 colors, but we'll make it work with 6 colors. If you're having a lot of jobs come through where you could justify having those 2 extra colors, then I think that's great. Yeah, going with the 8-6 would be awesome. A 6-6 will serve you fairly well for most jobs that you do get. I think most jobs that require the 8 colors are either some sort of spot process where you're needing a couple extra colors, like maybe instead of trying like to combine a turquoise and a blue or a cyan and a blue, you'll have those. Like there's some shades that are very close together, or you might get a job where there just happens to be that many spot colors. Like say for instance, we do jobs where they'll be on a color shirt. We'll have if it's white on a color shirt, we always have that white base and then a white top as far as the making that a bright white. So that really leaves you with 6 colors on a 8 color press. On a 6 color press, that leaves you with 4 colors. So also stations is something you want to consider. The more stations you do have, you're going to be that much more productive, in the sense that you put your shirt on, you print your base down, you flash it, and then it gives it that much more time to cool down before it comes around. And you're not essentially you're not you can load up 4 shirts quite easily, and then eventually that press comes all the way back around and those 4 shirts are gone, and those 4 shirts still might be warm, and you might have to take a little more time just because perhaps the underbase is still cooling a little bit. Whatever the case may be, I would say go with as many colors and as many stations as you can afford. Even if it's an even 6-6 or even 8-8, get as many colors and stations as you can afford, and then also think about how often is it that you do 8 colors. So I hope that answers your question, because it just kind of seems like odd numbers with the 8 colors, 6 stations. I believe she said that she has a 6-4 currently.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So I mean, even just stepping up to a 6-6 would be an improvement, but having those 2 extra colors will definitely allow you to do jobs that you couldn't do before. But then again, it goes back to that question of how often are you really using 8 colors? I mean, there's a handful of times when we need 8 colors.
Okay, so Rebbe's no happy hour. There was no happy hour, but at least that's Sunday. Anyways,
the happy hour was on Friday.
Yes.
We missed that. We took our own little happy hour because we got something to eat, and then they had beer. And Shannon was like, "They sell beer? They sell wine?" I was like, "Yeah, it's right there in the menu." "Are you sure? You mean we can get a little bit of wine and then roam around with it?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're adults here. We can."
Well, to be fair, we were the only people walking around with a glass of wine and a beer. But
I think most people just kind of sat down at the table, enjoyed their little drink and food, and then stuck there.
I wanted to look around more.
Yeah, we ate our food, and then we took our drink with us, and
me being so spilly, they all absolutely loved me. Yeah, there was a couple times like I was walking and I spilled. I saw myself spill, and I saw people see me spill, and they just glared, and I just like walked faster, which made me spill more. Anyways, that's why I didn't go into the Ryan section with you're like, "Here, hold my beer. I'm gonna go say hi to Ryan." I'm sitting there over there going, "I'm hating you so much."
I was recording with the t-shirt chick too.
Okay. Anyways, though.
So I want to talk about that. If T-shirt chick is still here, we'll talk about.
But there's a question coming.
Okay. What's the question, Shannon?
Patricia wants to know what you think about the DTG.
What do I think about DTG? I think it's great, and I think T-shirt chick can chime in with this on this, and everybody else out there as well that has experience or taking a look at the comparison between DTG and screen printing. With DTG, the thing about DTG is generally the colors, let's say your reds, your greens, they're not as bright as the screen printing ink that you do load up into your screen. And so when you set them side by side, it's comparable in the sense that it's, it looks pretty good. Not as bright as a screen print. However, I do know that they can boost up the amount of ink they put down, or maybe do a second pass to make it that much brighter. But then you're putting down that much more ink. DTG, where that really comes in handy, is for those clients that want a full color print and they're saying, hey, I want this screen printed. And you ask them, how many shirts do you want? I want 1, 2, 3, 4. When you're trying to achieve a full color print and they want it screen printed, it's really kind of not worth your time and their time until it's somewhere around 12 to 24, maybe even 24. I know there's times when it's we'll do, our minimum is 12 for screen printing period. And if someone wants a full color print, we charge them for an under the minimum. But even then, it let's say it's 10, we'll be like, okay, well, that's cool. We're gonna charge you an under the minimum charge. But if it's 2 or 3 shirts, it's not even worth it. And so that's when screen printing wise, it's not worth it. That's when a DTG is that's when it really comes into play, because a DTG, you can print thousands of colors with that DTG and do one t-shirt. We actually outsource our DTG when it comes to that, but we don't really like doing that a whole lot because there's not a lot for us to make. However, if you can afford to get a DTG machine and you have a lot of demand for that kind of work, then I would say I'd go for it, because the people that we do outsource ours to, that's all they do is 1s and 2s, and they'll do runs where it's 100 shirts or so, but I mean it's compared to screen printing, it's a slower process. But when it's that one shirt, that's where it really just makes it worth it.
Jason says his minimum is 24 because 12 just isn't worth it. And Jason, I'm going to tell you something. I had a lady today. She wanted 4 shirts, and she was insisting on screen printing, and it was going to be 2 colors with a base.
Yeah.
And she was providing the shirts. Even with her providing the shirts, I had to like sit her down and be like, look, 4 shirts is going to be $102 something.
Right.
Don't. She's like, that's out of our budget. I'm like, yeah, I thought so. And so she just like, we'll go elsewhere. I was like, yeah, you're not worth it.
It's kind of painting
it's
the
not
picture.
worth it. You're not worth it.
Painting the picture for them, letting them know it.
I broke it all down too.
Yeah, it's a matter of them just kind of educating them, saying, hey, I mean, it's going to be more expensive to have these shirts screen printed versus if you want just a single one color design. That's something we could use our vinyl plotter for and heat press it. And the thing that she seemed kind of on board with it until she was providing art that we would have to redraw. And because we are swamped, if we were slower business wise, then we probably wouldn't be like, okay, it's a simple design, I'll redraw. But right now we're just the 2 or 3 shirts and having to redraw it, and they're not okay with paying $25 for us to recreate it for half hour's worth of our time. Then we're not going to even, it's not even worth fussing with it at the moment. And it's not because we're being difficult or anything like that. When it comes down to the business, you got to kind of prioritize like what's really worth your time and what's going to make it worth your time.
Yeah, we're already super behind. We have a 6 color due tomorrow.
Couple 6 color jobs.
Yeah, 2 6. Yeah, one of them is 100. How much is the other?
So one of them's 100. The other is 75. The 100 is 6 color front, 1 color back, print flash print, and then 6 color front only on that. And that's all due tomorrow. And I still have to separate the art for one of them and coat screens. So I've got the screens made for the other one.
Okay, so they're all geeking out.
Yeah, sure.
Because she's decided, Inksational's decided that she's going with a 6.6.
That's a good way to go.
And they're all just like, 6.6 is yay. Pretty much.
Yeah, it's a good way to go. It's you'll be happy with it. Even if you're currently using a 6.4, having those extra 2 pallets will definitely speed things up. You'll see what I'm talking about when you get that 6.6 in. You think not having a couple extra pallets doesn't make a whole lot of difference, but it really does. It really does. So congratulations. You'll have to.
She's ordering it in the morning.
Oh wow! What press are you ordering? Did she mention that probably at one point? But
she wants a workhorse.
Workhorse, cool. What supplier are you getting that through? Is that McBee, or is that somebody else? McBee's here in town. I know there's other vendors that provide.
And we always feel bad for not using them now. Going in there. Hi.
We still use them. We bought just right over here is the Graph Tech. We spent $1,700 on a Graph Tech. We were talking about that with T-Shirt Chick, and it's a great machine.
Oh, we love it.
The only thing is Carlos at that was there at GSG. And Kathleen and everybody, Eddie and all of them are great at McBee Supply. The only issue is it really comes down to cost, because if I'm buying a gallon of emulsion and I compare it to 2 vendors, and one of them selling it for $55 and the other selling it for $100, who are you going to go with? It only makes sense. Even though I love them to death and I think they're great, it comes down to the bottom line, because the more it costs us in materials, the more we're gonna have to mark our prices up, and then we get the people that are like, hey, the t-shirts are too expensive. Why are they so expensive? Not that our clients talk that way.
Some of them do. Some of them do. Bye, Rybeats, and hi, Mark.
We do a lot of most of our stuff is through email anyway, so we have no idea how they really talk for the most part. But anyway, so let's it's 7:46. Let's talk about the ISS show a little bit, because it was a lot of fun. So it was Shannon, myself, Panda, which is a new hire that comes in, reclaims screens, and we're in the process of just kind of teaching him how to screen print. He comes in, I feel bad though, because he comes in, he's like, when am I going to be able to print some shirts? Like, man, we got to bang these out, and it's due tomorrow, and I don't want to be up till 2, 3 in the morning printing these shirts. There's been jobs where he's come in, I'm like, okay, I'm going to set the table that has the shirts up over by you. You load them onto the press. I'll print them and then unload. So he's loading it up. So, he's loading the shirts, and I'm trying to teach him how to load it up straight and quickly and efficiently. And I'll actually be like, okay, time's up, and I'll spin it before he even has a shirt completely on there. And I'm like, you gotta move. So he's picking it up. He's getting faster. Although because I've been doing it for so long, and I'm pretty quick at what I do. So I'm trying to get him to that point.
He also cooks faster than me.
Well, this is true. So we brought I'm deviating a little bit. So we brought Panda, Isla, which is his squeeze. We're good couple buddies, and someone is at the door. Hey, what's up, Aaron? You want to?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's gonna go handle Aaron real quick. So the Panda and Isla came with us, and I really wanted to show him some of the essentially the automatics and all that, where we plan on going, which I was saying a little earlier. And they're a lot of fun to hang around. They're just a lot of fun to be around, and you'll see some of that interaction in the video that I'm going to post here shortly. And even T-Shirt Chick saw some of the interaction. And so the ISS show was a lot of fun. We did have some issues getting the media pass. It was a pain in the butt because we were a little unprepared. I did get a new microphone for the camera. So I got this shotgun microphone just to kind of help drown out some of the noise, not only out there in the shop while trying to record some videos, but I knew it was going to be an issue with all the chatter going on at the ISS show, and got some new batteries and
Guess
all
how
that.
many dirty jokes were made about that?
About yeah, I was so distracted with it because you'll see in the beginning of the video, I'm used to just staring at the lens of this camera, and then
so
now
looking,
all I see is this here, and I'm just kind of like,
yeah, oh no,
that,
and then he kept doing it to me, and he just going bong. I'm just like, that is vulgar. Stop it.
I'm even at the point, and you might have noticed that there's like a pop screen here now. I got a pop screen for Shannon on her microphone, and it's just like little things that now that we're monetized, we're kind of like reinvesting money back into equipment to make things better for you guys out there. And so we Shannon, myself, Panda went to the ISS show, got this hotel. I'll say I would not recommend the Radisson.
Okay, you know what? The hotel pictures looked so much better. I thought it was going to be great. They had fountains, and the beds looked really nice, and
something was up with that.
The ceiling ends up being 8 feet high. Matt could jump and hit his head on it, and it smelled like kitty pee.
That's in the video.
I'm like just laying in the bed going, please don't get bed bugs. Please don't get bed bugs. Please don't get bed bugs.
Yeah, we
it was way grosser than I thought it would
be. we were not happy with the hotel. However, we still did have a fun stay.
We played board games.
I think one of the saving graces of it did have that little club. So we went and had some drinks, and we listened to a band play some live music that Friday night that we did arrive. And after the fact, we went to the ISS show. We got there. Because I had to have a media pass for this guy over here. We forgot our printouts here. There's a couple things we forgot, but the printouts was one of them. And so we went to register. They made us go all the way around to the other side of the building, and they're like, "No, the person that told you to go to the other side of the building really didn't know where to tell you to go." So they tell us, they call the person up. What was her name?
Shannon.
Shannon.
Why do you not remember that?
Because I'm awful with names. So they make us go all the way back to the other side again. And we're passing all the classrooms. Rybeats was asking about if we went to any classes. We didn't go to any of the classes. However, I saw Ryan giving a class. Again, in the video, he tells us what the class was about. It's basically the business end of it with his book, the Made to Make It, which he ended up kind of handing one of those out to me because I was curious what the class was about. And we get into the show. I say the kids, they're probably about 10 years younger than us.
24.
24, yeah. Yeah, well.
Not 10 years younger than me.
Okay, so I'm older than Shannon. Okay.
13 years younger than you.
Okay. Anyways, they were just going through every single. So a lot of the video photos that we do have is us kind of hanging around all the vendors that have shirts, because Isla was kind of checking shirts out, and we were too. Don't get me wrong, because we're always trying to keep up with what shirts are out there and everything.
I was actually disappointed a little bit, because a lot of the ones I was interested, a lot of the brands I was interested in, none of the vendors that we work with have them. Like something like I don't know. I got a shirt or a bag from one of them, something tees, like with the pink star on it.
Pink star?
Yeah, I got a bag.
If you guys know what she's talking about,
I don't know, but we didn't have them, and
I
loved their shirts. I thought the material was amazing, and it bums me out that none of our 4 vendors have them.
Did you get any information Did they hand out a catalog or anything like that?
No, I got flustered because that's when we met up with T-shirt chick. Jonathan was texting me or calling me or calling you as I was like trying to like find stuff, and then I was like, oh, okay. So and then
yeah. So
line of thought just went the other way.
At that point, we got in. They're kind of the kids are kind of going around grabbing shirts, and then Jonathan, one of our viewers, Jonathan, man, it was nice to meet you. If you are tuned in. It was really cool meeting him. When I did meet him, I'm 6'1" and he's probably about 6'3", 6'4". I was kind of like, and T-shirt chick, she's pretty tall gal too, man.
T-shirt chick, you're so tall.
I think we might be at the same height, or I don't know. Anyhow, we met with Jonathan and his wife, and we kind of got a little bit of their backstory. They're from California, and we talked about how they liked it here in Texas and Dallas, Fort Worth area. She is. They're both very nice, very easygoing.
Very, very nice people.
Very easygoing, and we talked screen printing for a little bit, and then it was, we could have talked the whole night. It was like, okay, well, we're gonna get going and check out some more stuff, because I wanted to try and record some stuff, which to be honest, going to the shows and trying to record stuff, you probably need to be under the radar and not want to socialize. I'm a very social person, and so I tried to get as much as I can. So we talked to Jonathan, moved on. We went to Brown Manufacturing. I wanted the guy to give me a little bit of a demo to put on video, because I find their stuff interesting, although it's kind of, I don't know, something about their equipment just seems a little like overseas-ish. Not that that's a bad thing, but I don't know.
And then ADT
so
in and we left.
he was like, yeah, and he was talking to somebody else, and I sat there and waited for a little bit. It took off. I'm like, okay, I'm not that interested in it. And then after that, we walked around, took a look at some things, some of the awards that have been given out for screen printing, embroidery, and all that. That was probably
my favorite part.
That's always really cool, 'cause some of that stuff is impeccable.
Oh my god, like the embroidery, the one that won, like, what kind of championship was it, national or something?
I don't remember what the awards were,
but it was
that they're giving out. But
it was some really cool thing from a horror, comic book type thing.
What kind of comic book?
It was like a horror comic book.
Oh, okay.
You remember? Because it was like some lady going, yeah, and like he's turning into a monster, and it was amazingly detailed, and I couldn't even believe it was embroidery at first. I had to look closer. Of course, like I said, I was in a death match with my contact, so eyes weren't working perfectly.
But yeah, that was really cool. I always enjoyed looking at that.
And the screen printing one that won first prize, I think it was like this dolphin thing, like this dolphin image. And oh my god, you're so freaking distracting. But
sorry,
Panda actually even asked us. He's like, "This is DTG, right?" I'm like, "No, this is screen printing," and the detail in it was so freaking amazing. Like I was like, "Wow."
That's when Panda was like, "We can do stuff like that, yeah." And I was just kind of like, "Yeah, we can somewhat," but the equipment that they have, I'm pretty sure it was done on an automatic, and we have a multi-bulb exposure unit, which they had some really fine dots. I imagine they probably used a 305, and it was just, man, those dots must have been 65 LPI, and just there, it was an impeccable. It was a really great looking screen print.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm not the kind of person that's gonna wear like a dolphin shirt.
Me either, but
but you can appreciate the art quality in it.
Yeah. So we looked at that, and then we took a little bit of a break to go eat. Shortly thereafter, did we meet T-shirt chick before or after we ate? I think that was post fact, because Jonathan texted me and said, "Hey, where you at? T-shirt chick's here."
It was after we ate. And I was trying to decide if the one guy was actually Cam, and not just a cameo, like a redheaded guy with a beard.
There's Jonathan, 6'5", but who's counting?
Everyone.
Nobody's counting. I've got a couple brothers that are taller than me. One of them's well, my younger brother's about half an inch taller than me, but my oldest brother, he's 6'3", but he's about 230 pounds, mostly muscle. He's kind of scary.
Little bit. Little bit.
Little
the first
bit.
time
It looks
I
like Vin
met
Diesel.
him, he just walked through the living room, and I was like, "Who's that?" I said, "My brother. He's really scary." Anyways, so after that,
Mark Guerrero, USA made. Yes, they are USA made. However, I don't know. If you ever get the chance to actually put your eyes on some of their equipment, don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing Brown or anything like that. I think it's great for what it is. Say, for instance, with those Brown machines, you can plug those right into the wall and just go on about your business. But with any other manufacturer, I don't care whether it's M&R, Workhorse, the Rock, damn, what's the other one? I was about to say M&M, but that's not it. I think it's an Australian outfit. They all require air. So that's one of the reasons it's intriguing to me. However, so we met T-Shirt Chick, and that was amazing. It was amazing meeting her, and
she's so nice, you guys.
She's very sweet. We kind of walked around a little bit, and she's like, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I can do a really good T-Shirt Chick impression. I'm not going to do it though.
That's my best.
Because my people are from Louisiana. T-Shirt Chick, and just in case you're curious, our families, the Matoyas, have been some of the longest settlers in American history, really. However, she's really sweet. We each kind of got a little bit of video in. We walked around, and to my surprise, she is shyer than I realized. So, and we were kind of like really just kind of pumped and being silly, especially Panda. Panda's being silly. I think Panda and I kind of egged each other on.
Yeah, no, really?
No,
really?
I don't think so. I probably would have been the same way, regardless.
No.
However,
you guys broed it out.
Yeah, we were totally bromancing it the whole weekend.
Anyways,
so we hung out with T-Shirt Chick for a little while. We kind of I put my focus on her, and we just talked a little bit and kind of walked around and talked, and we eventually came to the Ryonet booth. I feel like I say that stupid. Ryonet. I always do the Texas Louisiana draw. Ryonet. However, so we go there, and thank you, T-Shirt Chick, by the way, for the shirts.
Yes, thank you, Sin.
We really appreciate that. I wish we had printed some of our own shirts to hand out, but we were completely flustered at the end of the week, and we had a hard enough time just printing Shannon the Shop Gnome a shirt. However, speaking of it, not that it was hard, but just trying to squeeze in the time. So Sin got to meet Shannon. Jonathan got to meet Shannon. So that the people that we have kind of met in person, Rybeats, because we're trying to line up that live interview, he kind of got to meet her. He got to see her on camera a little bit. So they're very fortunate to see the myth, the legend that is Shannon the Shop Gnome.
I'm a unicorn.
And so we hung out with Sin. We got to the Ryonet booth, and then I think Sin, and don't get me wrong, Sin, we nerded out too the first time. I was like, hey, look, and that was at the Houston ISS show, but it was a really small show. And it was like, there's Ryan. And Shannon, I think she was a little kind of screen printing YouTube starstruck. I'm like, let's go talk to him. Talk to him. This was at the ISS show Houston. So I had already met him. We had talked for 2 hours, just shooting the shooting BS. Okay.
I don't think he remembered me the second time though. I'm not kidding, because he went in for like because I just wanted to give like a quick hi, because you guys have been like talking all the time. I didn't want to take up any of
Right.
his time, so I go in there and I'm like, hi, Ryan. And then he goes in for a handshake, and all of a sudden there's this girl coming out for a hug with pink eye.
Well, he probably...
It wasn't pink eye for anyone tuning in now.
Her eye was irritated. Anyways, the point is, I think he... well, you must have... I can only imagine. He deals with a lot of people, so... not knowing you... we did hang out with him for a few hours at the Houston ISS show, and we...
Bye, Jonathan.
He just hung out at... See you later, Jonathan. He hung out at the... So we went to like their little after party thing at the Houston ISS deal, and we talked it up for a long while, and so so Shannon's a hugger. I tend to be, unless I know the person really well. Like I didn't hug Ryan. Don't get me wrong. I think I shook T-shirt chick's hand. If I had hung out with her a little longer, I probably would have hugged her. Because we're just, I don't know, there's something a little more personal about the hug. So anyhow, we're by the Ryanette booth. T-shirt chick's being shy. I didn't realize she was as shy as it is, and I think it's endearing. And I'm like, just go talk to him. He's an easygoing guy. And she's like, nah, because I've kind of... Not that she bashed his stuff. I'm going to leave her to say whatever the situation is, but I think she felt a little timid about being an honest screen printer and giving her unbiased reviews. And so I was like, who cares? Just go talk to him. He doesn't care. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go talk to him, and then we talked for a little bit. He asked me a few questions. I talked about the tattoo that he got on his wrist in Houston at the ISS show. I wasn't there, but I did see it on Instagram. And then I was just like, hey, there's T-shirt chick. She's right over there. He's like, what? T-shirt chick? I love her videos. And he just... as soon as I told him that, Sin, if you're still watching, he was just like... like he quickly moseyed on over to you because he was real interested in meeting you. And so they talked, and we were there. We had a chat between the three of us for a little bit, which I did film on the video. And I kind of let them do their thing. I was being a little silly. I did kind of go around the back of them, which you probably could see in T-shirts chick. I'll say, no, I'm vlogging them vlog. And then after that, we went on about our business. We contacted Brian after the fact to see if they had anything going on. And he was leaving sooner than later. Some of the crew that was there with Ryanette, which would have been really cool to kind of network with those guys, because a lot of them are screen printers, screen printing shop owners, to kind of rub elbows with those guys. However, by the time they were finished packing everything up, everybody was just hungry already, so we went and did our own thing. Went to a pretty cool restaurant. Can't say the food was necessarily that impressive.
It was awful.
Tex-Mex wise.
It wasn't Tex-Mex. It was
Mexican. Yeah, it was Mexican food.
It was terrible. I had 5 bites.
The setting was absolutely gorgeous, though.
The setting was fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what? If I drop the ball in the hotel, you drop the ball in the restaurant.
Actually, that was kind of Isla and I that came to consensus, because it okay, from the pictures, just like the hotel. The pictures were amazing, but the food was...
They didn't take credit or debit.
Oh my god!
It was only cash or check, which I'm sure
cash
was
only, and it was fajitas or enchiladas only. And they told me that. I got up from my seat and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, it was home. It was like home style fajitas and enchiladas, and Panda got stuck in the bathroom because there were these racist people at the urinals, like talking shit about Mexicans and
Yeah.
beating women.
I was like, dude, I'm sorry you experienced that because that's not
He's
cool.
just like sitting
I
there. He's like, I don't
totally,
know what to do.
yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
I don't
Greg.
know.
By the way, this is Shannon the shop. No, that's who's laughing. He's like, who's laughing?
Well, if you're new to the show, Shannon, she doesn't want to be on
Greg.
camera. Uh, I'm saying
Oh, I thought you were
if you're
addressing you. Okay.
if you're new to the show, Shannon, the shop gnome, she does not want to be on camera, and
I'm a unicorn.
I respect that. I don't even film her when it comes to our videos and everything. So she is. Everybody, we've actually made a deal. It's 50 sold shop gnome shirts, or when we get to the point of having consistent 50 viewers, we'll get a camera on her. However, that's going to take some time. So if you're new to the show, either buy a t-shirt or tune in regularly, so that way if we have 50 viewers
You
going
don't
at once.
have to. It's okay.
She doesn't really want to be on. There's been times when I've almost convinced her to actually be on camera full time, and I think it would be great because it would be almost kind of like I'm not trying to compare our show to anything, but I'm like, one of the things I was trying to help convince her to be on camera. I was like the Howard Stern show, man. I was like the Howard Stern show. I was like the Howard Stern show, man. There's Howard Stern, and then they cut to I can't think of her name right at this moment. I'm drawing a blank. Man, what is her name? Anyway, so yeah. So if you're new to the show, Shannon, she has some requirements to get on.
Well,
However,
I'm kind of like setting the. I'm trying what I figured would be an impossible thing to meet, so I wouldn't have to ever do it. And by the way,
don't
Charles,
think it's impossible
thank you.
whatsoever.
Charles said I'm a very pretty shop gnome.
There you go. She's a beautiful girl. She just as any other girl is. They tend to, and instead of really appreciating how beautiful they are, they want to pick out little flaws.
Anyways.
Because I mean, I think nobody's perfect. So we're gonna move on because I don't want Shannon to feel that much more.
Yeah, can we stop talking about me, please?
No, let's talk about
I don't want to talk about Shannon. I want to talk about the one last question we're answering.
Okay, so one more question. I think we pretty much wrapped up our experience at the ISS show. It was a lot of fun. We cut up a lot. Met Sin and Ryan. Well, I met him before. We we just caught up with him again. It's always cool meeting. And YouTubers out there, Jonathan, Charles. If there's anybody that I'm forgetting, we apologize because it was completely overwhelming and we're just having a grand old time.
And half the time we're like herding kittens.
Yeah, and that as well. We had to make sure we weren't just completely losing our group. So I actually had thought about getting some of you guys on camera, but I didn't. I was so caught up in the moment of actually just talking to you guys and not being behind the camera. I think that's one of the things that I'm trying to overcome, but I feel like I don't want to overcome that because just kind of experiencing it. I feel like it's hard experiencing things behind a camera. For example, you go to a concert. If you're sitting there trying to record, oh my God, it's my favorite band, and you're recording them behind your phone or your camera the whole time, then you're not really experiencing it. However, Shannon, go ahead. What was the question?
Patricia wants to know if we're going to redo the topic from last week.
We are going to redo the topic. I'm glad you brought that up because we're going to redo that again, but I think we're still kind of riding on that high of the ISS show. We'll do that next week. Okay, so we'll do that next week. We'll do that properly, and once we do that properly, I'll probably just take the other stuff down because I don't. There was a lot that we didn't get to touch on, and how we really how things got started, inception for myself, how I kind of stumbled into it. It's funny because Jonathan, who we did meet at the ISS show, it kind of somewhat of a similar story. You know, I thought about doing screen printing, but it was really about doing my own T-shirt designs, and then it went from there. So we'll save that for next show.
I stumbled into it
yes.
on a second date.
And then Shannon came into it. She's we connected on the fact that we enjoy a lot of the same just art in general, from music to drawing to screen printing happened to be another form
We
of
met
art
online, and his intro message to me was
I find that
a glass of wine and a sketchbook. Loving it. It's like something like that. And I was like, okay, all right. Yeah, this seems cool. Anyways, we'll get to that one next time. And no, we don't need a GoFundMe for 50 shirts. Thank you, Waldo.
A GoFundMe?
For 50 shirts.
No.
Anyways, guys.
It's a matter of really not necessarily. Okay, so how we kind of wanted to treat it was individuals that are kind of tuning in, buying these shirts, kind of a thing. Not necessarily one person being like, hey, we're gonna purchase 50 shirts.
I don't know, Mark's already offering to buy 20, and I'm just kind of like, that's kind of awesome.
Hey, you can still buy 20. Hey, but if he does that though, Shannon, no, I don't know, buddy. I don't know. You're gonna have to be.
You know what? I'm gonna call the
show.
bluff. 20 shirts. I'll get on.
You heard it.
I'm calling the bluff. I'm calling the bluff.
You purchase those 20 shirts. She's gonna be on next show. This camera that I bought. I'm gonna use the built-in camera. I'm gonna put this thing over there.
Oh,
where
good.
Shannon's
So
at.
it's like, super crisp.
Yeah, and mine will be nice and dark.
I hate you. All right. Well, we need to. We need to wrap this
It's either
up.
that, or you can sit in the driver's seat over here, and I'll, or you can just come over here.
And bend over your shoulder?
No, we could pull the microphones back, and we can both just be in the same shot.
With what chair? I have a standing desk.
We'll figure something out. We got stools. We can bring a chair in here.
Okay.
I'm here as more excuses.
Well, yes, there are. Okay, it's almost 8:20, darling.
Okay, guys. Well, it's been fun, and it. Shit, I'm kind of stumbling at this point. I apologize, but it's been fun as usual. Shannon, do you have anything that you kind of want to outro with? Some sort of fun, clean joke for our viewers, so we can keep our monetization, please.
So much less fun when they're clean.
Okay. I'll say this. That it initially it seems to be a factor, but it's really, really not. So go ahead and do your little outro joke or fun fact or.
Okay, I don't remember any jokes right now. Okay. Would you hush?
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
In Japan, it's considered good luck when a sumo wrestler makes your baby cry.
And there you have it. Make a sumo wrestler make your baby cry.
Also in Michigan,
especially if you're in
it
Japan.
is legal to hunt unicorns. They actually have a unicorn hunting license.
There you have it. If you
Two
can
for
find
tonight.
a unicorn to hunt, then it's all game. But you have to be in Michigan, right?
I think so. No, it's Minnesota. It's Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota.
I don't know. It's one of those two. Something
Okay,
with
so
them.
there's your fun facts. It's not a joke tonight, but it's a couple fun facts, and we appreciate all you guys
I can
tuning
do a
in.
joke. I remembered a
Don't
joke.
forget to subscribe to our channel. It's over this way. It's always reverse. We'll have some more videos for you guys to check out. I'm going to upload that video here soon. We are an official rep for Catspit Productions, so if you're in the market for screen printing supplies or equipment, be sure to check out catspitscreenprintsupply.com. You can use our promo code and get $5 off. And Also, be sure to check our links down in our description. We do have some Amazon links that also help support our channel. Even if you don't buy anything screen printing related, you want to go buy some diapers for your baby or something, click that link and then go buy your stuff on Amazon. It will kick a little bit of a commission over our way. So that way we can put time into making videos for you guys, because it does take up a lot of time. It's something we enjoyed. So we appreciate everybody tuning in, and we will see you guys next Monday at 7 o'clock.
Bye, guys. Hearts.